Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Johnny became Hawk during the events of the Karate Kid? So in this timeline, Johnny would still want to join Cobra Kai, and he would still go to the Cobra Kai dojo, but in this timeline, Kreese wouldn't want to accept him. He would tell Johnny that he needed to flip the script. So later that day, Johnny would get a mohawk, and he would go back to the dojo. Kreese would be surprised to see him, so Hawk would join Cobra Kai in this timeline. Sid would make fun of Johnny for his mohawk, but Laura would defend him. Hawk would get more confidence, and he would stand up to Sid, and the events of the Karate Kid would continue. Hawk would start to get more confidence, and he would start learning offense, and much like in the original timeline, he would become Cobra Kai's #1 student. Hawk would still be friends with Bobby, Tommy, and Jimmy, but Dutch would make fun of him because of his mohawk, so Hawk would stand up to Dutch, and he would fight him, so Hawk would defeat Dutch in this timeline, and much like in the original timeline, Hawk and Dutch would become friends. Dutch would be a bigger influence in this timeline, and much like Dutch, Hawk would spend some time in juvie, and Hawk would start dating Allie. Those events would stay the same, and much like in the original timeline, Daniel would still move to the valley, and he would still talk to Allie. Hawk and the Cobra Kais would still show up. Hawk would still confront Daniel, and he would be more aggressive, and the rivalry between Hawk and Daniel would start to grow, and the events of the Karate Kid would continue. And in this timeline, Hawk would be an even bigger bully. Hawk and the Cobra Kais would still confront Daniel at the Halloween dance, and Mr. Miyagi would still save Daniel. Those events would stay the same. So Mr. Miyagi and Daniel would still go to the Cobra Kai dojo, and Mr. Miyagi would still propose a tournament. So Mr. Miyagi would start training Daniel. Daniel and Allie would continue to date, but in this timeline, Hawk would try to sabotage their relationship, and he would start to confront Allie, but Allie still wouldn't want anything to do with Hawk. Those events would carry on. The night of the All Valley, Daniel and the Cobra Kais would compete, and they would start winning their matches. Hawk would be an even more aggressive fighter, and he would still make it to the finals. Bobby would still injure Daniel in the semifinals, so Bobby would be eliminated, and Daniel would advance to the finals. The fight would stay the same. Daniel would still be defeating Hawk, so Kreese would still tell him to sweep the leg, and in this timeline, Hawk would show no hesitation, so Hawk would still sweep Daniel's leg, and much like in the original timeline, Daniel would still defeat Hawk using the crane kick, so Daniel would be the All Valley champion, and after the tournament, Kreese would still be mad at Hawk for losing the All Valley, but in this timeline, Hawk would fight back, and he would want to fight Kreese, but Kreese would defeat Hawk, and Mr. Miyagi would still save Hawk, so Hawk would still leave Cobra Kai in this timeline, and that is where I'm going to end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Johnny became Hawk during the events of the Karate Kid? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.